I have worked really hard and been really lucky in my jobs. I've had wonderful role models. I've had good mentors. I've had amazing bosses. And all of them have encouraged me to be the best, to use my energies for good. And I've been in the right place at very fortuitous times. And I had really good bosses along the way. But even before that, I had a role model who was very influential in my choice of a major in the College of Ag and Natural Resources, and that was Dr. Maxine Ferris. I wanted to be her because she was a very poised woman. She was very professional. She was a lot of fun to be around, and she brought out the best in her students. So she was very important in me wanting to continue to develop my communication skills. And I put in some long nights and some early mornings and some Saturdays, and that was all great. My great bosses have instilled a couple of things that I think led to success in what I've done. And one is that the job doesn't necessarily end at 5 o'clock. And the other was anybody should be able to answer the phone and help people get the information they need. And that was encouraged me to learn a lot about my job so that I could help people. Part of my job always has been other duties as assigned. And that has led to some of the most exciting things that I've done as a professional. It took me to Asia a couple of times, once to Nepal. It took me to Beijing, China, to be the university protocol officer for the first international graduation ceremony that Michigan State ever did for one of the programs in the College of Ag and Natural Resources. But those were never in the job description, and that's part of what has made my job really exciting and fulfilling. When I was a student, there were no female chairs or directors. And now, I don't know exactly how many there have been, but there's certainly been a change in that. And I think one of the most exciting things is that when I was an undergrad in animal science, it was about 80% male, 20% female, and now that has essentially flipped, and they're led by a strong woman leader. I think I see a big picture for students, whereas sometimes they can't see past Math 103. So I try to help them to see that this might be something that doesn't feel comfortable right now, but it's all part of your success package. I did get hired, and the rest is history. I have really never worked except in the College of Ag and Natural Resources since I was a junior in college. Been many departments, many different places, lots of opportunities. After academic and student affairs, I was an advisor in the School of Packaging, and that was at a time when we kept all our records on paper. We had 800 students and one of me. I had an opportunity to back up the director for the brand new Michigan Travel, Tourism, and Recreation Resource Center. So I did some research. That was in the era that personal computers were becoming more widespread around campus. I learned both programming language and the rudimentary software that was available then. Came back to academic and student affairs, and I was the assistant director for undergraduate programs for about 19 years. Then I decided that it was time to think about retirement, and I was very fortunate to be hired half-time by Kelly Millenbaugh, our associate dean. And she said, well, there are these projects that I want you to do, but I want to keep a little part for other duties as assigned. And there have been some great ones. The trip to Beijing was one of those that was really memorable. And a few other things where I was able to pitch in because I had familiarity with the college for so many years. So that was great. And then I retired officially on August 15th of 2018 and immediately went back to work doing advising in the School of Planning, Design, and Construction and the Department of Agricultural, Food, and Resource Economics. Mm-hmm. And I'll be finishing up in one of them in May and the other one in December.